If you're an animation fan, you're probably counting down the days to the worldwide release of Dogman in theaters.
You look at the monitor!
But have you heard all the shocking theories that might come true in this highly anticipated movie?
What if we sew the dog's head onto the man's body?
Let's kick things off with Peteys' potential sacrifice. That's right, this theory could end up being historic and completely surprising, possibly reshaping the storyline for future movies. Why? Because this is almost certainly just the first installment of a brand new franchise. Petey will decide he needs another being like himself and creates a clone, a kitten version of himself named Lil Petey. And of course, the villain is bound to develop feelings for Lil Petey. Who wouldn't? But those familiar with the story know Petey abandons the little kitten on Dogman's doorstep. When Petey later regrets his decision and realizes he needs to be a father to Lil Petey, he'll experience true happiness for the first time. But sadly, this won't lead to the happy ending we're hoping for, because Petey may sacrifice himself to save his son's life. As you might already know, Lil Petey is destined to become a hero alongside Dogman, and most heroes have a tragic backstory. Just ask Batman. In the end, when Flippy, the evil fish, uses his powers to target Lil Petey, Petey might throw himself in front of a deadly blast to save his son, leaving us heartbroken. Shocked? Buckle up on the couch and get ready for 10 shocking theories that might happen in the first Dogman movie. This is Cinewave. You've probably heard from recent leaks that Officer Knight is going to have a girlfriend in this movie. Her name is Alice, and she's not part of the comics. If she's in the film, it's because she plays an important role. It's pretty clear Alice will break up with the officer because, after Petey's accident, Officer Knight literally loses his head along with his humanity. In the movie, we'll see Dogman go through a breakup, or rather, a broken engagement. That's right, Officer Knight and Alice were preparing for their wedding. Their home was even ready. But after the accident, Alice feels she has no choice but to call off the engagement. You can't date a half-man. This scene is going to be heartbreaking to watch, especially since leaked images show Dogman wandering the city, visibly heartbroken after saying goodbye to Alice. Here's a theory that's almost guaranteed to happen. Dr. Scum will play a critical role in this film. This character is the mastermind behind the robots the mayor wants to use. Dr. Scum is the genius behind the intelligent machines Dogman will have to fight because the movie's main villain, the mayor, wants to replace the police with robots that follow her every command. Dr. Scum won't just appear as a typical scientist working for the villain, like Dr. Nefario with Gru. He has his own plans. This character will likely carry over to the next film with bigger schemes to take over the city. Remember, we mentioned this is the start of a franchise. Dr. Scum is set to become the main villain of the sequel. If his plan to dominate the city with robots fails, he might team up with other villains in Dogman 2. Could we see a giant robot in the future? And what about you? Would you like to have a robot as tall as a building? Drop a comment with #robot so we can get to know ya! Of course, in the Dogman universe, the most feared villain would naturally be a cat. But we're not talking about Petey, who's undoubtedly one of the story's antagonists. This time, it's his father, Crud, who will appear in the movie to infuriate fans. During Petey's childhood, he was abandoned by Crud, a cruel cat who even injured his son's tail. The exact details of how Petey's tail was cut off hasn't been revealed yet, but it's certain the story involves some kind of abuse from Crud towards his kitten son. We know Crud will appear in the movie because the scenes featuring the prison where he's locked up are confirmed. This might set Crud up as a pivotal figure for the next installment. We've got a theory about who's really behind the crimes happening in this movie. Petey may use his machines to terrorize the citizens of OK City, thieves may rob stores and banks, and Flippy might use his super-powered fish brain for evil deeds. But what if someone else is pulling the strings? Someone hiring villains to ruin the citizens' day? That someone could be none other than the mayor herself. Why would she do that? Simple. She wants to stay mayor forever. She needs the police overwhelmed and her competitors out of the picture. How does she plan to achieve this? Even simpler. She hires villains to wreak havoc in the city, blames the police for failing, and then deploys Dr. Scum's super robots to handle the chaos. When her robots succeed, the citizens will be amazed at her leadership and vote to crown her as the ruler of the city indefinitely. But to make this plan work, the mayor needs a partner with a genius-level criminal mind, and that partner is Flippy. As a reward for his help, the mayor provides him with victims for his mental ray. Why? Easy, he's a fish! And maybe, just maybe, he's dreaming of a more suitable body. Perhaps he'll use his ray to transfer his consciousness into someone else, like a man with a dog's head? Alternatively, Flippy could be manipulating the mayor from the beginning, secretly controlling her mind without her realizing it. Dogman leaks confirm there's a volcano at the center of OK City, and you know what that means. It's definitely going to erupt and threaten to destroy everything, right? Absolutely. The villain Flippy will use his powers to unleash lava on the citizens. It's possible a machine will trigger the volcano, some kind of powerful engine designed to make it erupt and engulf everything in its path. This theory is important because it shows there are far greater threats than just robots obeying the mayor or a fish with eye lasers. The city faces the risk of being destroyed, not just conquered by a villain. But why would anyone want to sink OK City? The motive isn't obvious, but we have a theory. Flippy is a fish in an aquarium. What if he could be a fish in the ocean? Destroying the city and flooding it with water where he could reign as king might sound like the perfect plan. You know what can't sink? Our channel. So don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Have you taken a close look at Dogman's superhero outfit? It's basically a copy of Batman's costume, and leaks from the movie show the city is plagued by crime. The truth is, OK City is inspired by Gotham City, the iconic home of the bat-battling supervillains. This theory is super exciting because we know Dogman will be fired from the police force and replaced by the mayor's evil, incompetent robots. That's when Dogman will design a new suit and alongside Petey become the city's hero, solving crimes at night. Will we see plenty of Batman references? Maybe even a dog boomerang shaped like a bone? Let's hope so. This theory is going to blow your mind. As much as Dogman is the protagonist, we believe he won't be the one to save the day at the end of the movie. That honor will go to Lil Petey. The son of the villainous Petey is a key character in this universe, even having his own comic stories in mini pages. We think Lil Petey's popularity in the Dogman universe will make him the character who ultimately saves the day, and there's a leaked scene that backs this up. Spoiler alert! In the leaked footage, we see Lil Petey wearing a sort of eye mask to block Flippy's mental ray. This hints at him being the one to defeat the threat to the city. Not through epic violence, but with his kindness, which will touch not just his father Petey's heart, but also everyone around him. As we've mentioned, Petey might sacrifice himself to save his son, but it's highly unlikely he'll avoid prison or be forgiven for all the harm he's caused. The movie will likely end with the antagonist being handcuffed and taken to the feline prison, where he'll meet his father, Crud. The prison will also feature Big Jim, a character currently incarcerated and expected to play a significant role in future films. Inside the prison, Petey will devise an escape plan, so he probably won't stay there long, but as a fugitive, he'll need a disguise. That's where we hope to see his famous nanny costume from the comics. Remember that lovely lady in pearls from the 4th Dogman edition? That's none other than Petey, pretending to be a nanny so he can visit his son. Of course, this movie will have a post-credit scene. Once the villains are defeated and locked away, we'll be introduced to the major threat awaiting us in the future. Place your bets. Who could it be? Dr. Scum? The mayor? Flippy? Nope. The big bad for Dogman 2 will be a villain we haven't seen yet because they weren't in any leaks so far. Piggy. This villain has ties to Petey's past and leads a group of supervillains called the Fleas. Their goal? Not just to take down Dogman, but also to eliminate the villainous Petey. Dogman hits theaters on January 30th, and we couldn't be more excited for DreamWorks' newest film. Until then, there's still plenty to talk about regarding this animation. That's why we've selected 2 more videos for you to check out. See you in the next one.